Harlan's here.
Harlan's here. What's going on, Harlan?
Oh, wow. Hey, did everybody enjoy the fireworks show?
It was a fireworks show there. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I made sure I was thinking about everybody on Friday. Got out of the park early. Sure hope everybody else did. So
sell your peanuts
wow.
while they're in town. That was the theme, and the circus left yesterday.
Yeah, it did. Really quick. So, but that's what you have to expect that when you have a market that going into a holiday, it's just getting ramped up. From an extreme, gap and go, and it's got to relieve some of that. So, when I see stuff like that, I just don't like messing with markets that go vertical. I just kind of sit back and go, well, all right. If you want to chase it, feel free. So, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I think it was, about a top. Didn't we talk about that a little bit, Dennis? About,
we've been talking about a top for a while, but we finally got one. We finally got one.
Yeah. Well, we talked about, usually it starts with a big bang to the downside. At least if you look at the NASDAQ comp, and one could say the Russell, you saw that, so where to from here? That's the big question. I look at the indexes, I look at the S&P 500, I look at the NASDAQ comp. Both of them came right down and pegged the 20-day moving average yesterday. And, here you're looking at, they're still in an accelerated uptrend channel here, but, now you're sitting on uptrend channel support. The NASDAQ is sitting at a pretty decent size support. So this bounce that we're going to see, if we see, that's what you really want to watch for. If we're going to relieve some of the oversold in the short term, 15, 60-minute chart time frequencies, you're going to get some sort of a bounce to the upside to relieve some of that short-term oversoldness. So that's what you want to watch. Now, if that thing forms, a bear channel, comes up and looks at, short-term resistance from a few days back, then, you might want to kind of watch that. So at least that's your what to watch out for at this moment in time. But right now, the accelerated uptrend channel on the S&P 500 off of, let's just call it everything from 1st of June through present day, it's a clearly defined uptrend channel. It's a little bit more of an extreme versus what we've seen. So, you got to watch the 20-day, you got to watch that uptrend channel, and, if you break it, you're probably headed to 1940-ish. So, but until that happens, the trend is your friend. So, but Momo turned no-no, back to Momo, and now we're back to no-no if I read Dennis right in, what's that phrase that you use? Momo turned no-no?
Yeah, the Momos turned no-nos 2 days ago. I still think they're a little bit of no-nos. I'm kind of looking at these and trying to fade some of these pops here we're getting this morning. I'm starting to build a little bit of a short portfolio here. Maybe I'm going to be wrong, but I'm fading rallies right now. That's just my own thoughts.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. When you see stocks that start to go vertical, like you were talking Yelp, when you start seeing stuff like that, or even, Netflix, hats off to, was it Goldman you had said that upgraded it?
Yeah, so, they upgraded it. Yeah.
That turns out to be a suck 'em in type of upgrade, if you ask me. So,
Bite your tongue,
it broke out
Harlan.
into a new high, and it rolled over.
It did. It filled the gap on it. It really was. So on a day like yesterday, all right, were you buying any stuff? Did anything get near some areas that you're just kind of licking your chops and saying, hey, it's time to get in, or did you just maybe get hit on some sell stops and take some profits?
I just pretty well sat back because typically I will sell strength versus buying strength. Especially when you have a market that's been running, for, dang near 2 months now. So, at some point you have to take a breather. It's healthy. Call it, we just bolt for strikes now. This pullback that we're seeing, it's equivalent of, all right, let's set the pins up again so that we can start to bolt for strikes again. So, but it usually doesn't happen in a day. Usually, could be a couple of weeks, could be a couple of days, who knows. But right now, I'm just not seeing a ton of things that jump out at me. There's a few names, there always is. Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be something out there. But I guess the three stocks that I'm just kind of watching here, Facebook, that really kind of took it on the chin yesterday, but, it's been selling off for 4 or 5 days already. Yeah. Came down, hit the 50-day moving average, which is trend channel support off of the April lows. Line up all your April lows. So you've got an inflection point here, but, it's probably going to take still a little bit of time. So I'd expect some backing and filling in a name like that. Tesla came down, did the same thing, off the May lows. It basically hit trend channel support and the 50-day moving average. So right now, both of those names are in uptrends, uptrending channels off the May lows. So I have nothing bad to say about them. The only other name I'm watching right now is ACT. Activist, I think that's the way you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, there's another one that, basically one could say it's in a clearly defined uptrend channel off of the this one off the April lows, and all it has done is pull right back to the 50-day moving average zone and some a prior support level. So those are the names that I'm kind of watching. After yesterday, I'm just kind of, all right, let's see what happens when the dust settles. So, but short term, you're oversold very short term. But it's what's going to be telling here is what happens with a bounce, and does that bounce fail? Because if it does fail, well, then you're probably headed for another leg down. But chart time. That's for me. That's what I need to see.
How about AVAV? Ace is asking about that issue. Is that something that is coming down to support here? This is one. I mean, it's kind of been a choppy chart. It's making its second attempt to hold this area. You have anything on AVAV for us?
Well, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head here. Yesterday's lows is a retest of the beginning of March and the May lows. So this could be a support level, but it is a little bit choppy here. So we'll have to see if support holds. It would be nice to see support hold, but one could say this is, early stage bottom of a cup if it stabilizes down here and can lift off of it. I just need more chart time.
Okay, and
get me to look at it.
Have you been messing with the GoPro at all?
No, I haven't. I lost 2 GoPros last winter. So,
what?
I like.
How do
GoPro.
you lose your GoPros? To tell us the story.
Well,
how do you lose 2? How do you not even lose 1? You lose 2. How do you lose 2 GoPros?
My kid's a snowcross racer, and he's got them on his helmet, and once in a while rubbing his racing, and he kind of wiped out a few times, and next thing you know, the GoPro's gone and it's laying in the snow somewhere buried. So come springtime, somebody found a couple of GoPros from over the winter. So we just couldn't find them. I think they're great. I really do. So I got nothing bad to say about them. But it's interesting you bring that up because GoPro, I did see a video last night. Some guy overseas created a drone, autonomous drone with a GoPro that will follow you wherever you go. And I thought it was just a really great technology. So there's that drone theme. So, I got nothing bad to say about GoPro and everything that goes along with it. It's just short term, it's kind of hard when you have about, a week or two's worth of chart time to really get a gauge. So you get the nice little spike up for 3-4 days, and now you have to relieve that excess. So, let it put in some chart time, and if it can stage what I like is the pullback off highs, then I'll look at it. So
I kind of
nothing bad to
like.
say about the company.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at it from. I mean, you did have that 40.74 low, and that was on the third. But in the three of the last four trading sessions here, it's really found a home right in the mid 41. So to me, this chart's shaping up pretty good here. Trading up a buck 10 in the pre-market. I think I'd like this above 41.50. I'm going to throw out that 40.74 low, and I'm just going to look at those three lows right around the 41.50 area. If that holds, look for it to go back a couple highs in the 44 handle, but 41.50. I'm finally getting a handle on GoPro. A couple other stocks in the chat room here. If you could take a look at them. Let's take a look at Nordstrom, JWN.
JWM. Base building, gapped up
Wow.
on earnings, and it's just tracking sideways between 67.5 and 70-ish. So, I got nothing good to say, nothing bad to say. It's more of a sideways. It is approaching a resistance zone. So, so right now you have a stock going sideways overall that's approaching a short-term resistance.
One more too from the chat that Rob Hood's asking about is ACC, smaller company, lower beta company. It's got a pretty nice dividend, 3.9%. Stock has been coming up here a little bit, formed a nice base at 38, starting to come up here. What do you think on this one there, Harlan?
ACC?
Yeah, ACC, American Campus Communities.
Yeah. Just going sideways, 30, call it 38 to 39.5. And, the bigger the base, bigger the break. So, if this thing can put in some chart time here, go sideways, and break out into a new high, then, you may be on your run. When I talk about that, look at AVGO. This is a good example of, a nice tight base that breaks out. This is what you want to see with ACC. Breaks out, nice base, goes on a run for a few points, 3-4 days, and that's when I'm looking at basing structures up there near the highs. That's what I'm looking for, an AVGO.
Okay, all right, Harlan, 8:49. Final market thoughts for us on the S&Ps. Getting a little pop up here. We racing back up to old time highs here. You're looking for some more follow through on the downside. Maybe some Fed minutes or something. Shake things up a little bit. What are you looking for?
Well, right now, short term, we're in that trend channel. You're at trend channel support on the S&P. You're at the 20-day. You hit the 20-day yesterday. So right now, it's innocent until proven guilty. And the trend is your friend. It's just a matter of if you break this 20-day and this short-term trend channel, we could be in for another leg down. But until that happens, you just got to stay with the trend. So, but just watch out in the next couple of days just to be on the safe side. I'm not saying beware. I'm just saying be aware that if we bounce and that bounce sputters over a couple of day period and we start to come back down, that's when you want to pull in your horns a little bit.
Okay.
So, but just take it easy right here. It's been a nice run. Catch your breath, and there's always going to be something coming down the pipe.
Okay, Harlan Pyan here, co-founder of All About Trends, giving us his technical take on the market. Thanks for joining us today, Harlan. We'll talk to you next week.
You bet. See you later, guys.